We're finally going to look at a Medford knife, and this is a very, very nice one. Now, I have to apologize in advance. There's some issues with the audio. That's why I don't have the knife, because the knife already went back to the customer. But I was trying a new microphone, and so there are some audio issues. I apologize. I can't refilm because I don't have the knife here. So let's turn us around and look at this really, really good Medford knife.
Guys, this is the first Medford we've had on the channel. Now, we've looked at them at shows, at the table and stuff like that. But this is the Slim MIDI, and this is the drop point version. There's also a Tonto version and a couple other versions. And this is an incredibly well-made knife. I've never argued the fact that Medford makes great knives. We just never had them on the channel because most of the knives don't appeal to me. And while this still isn't, While this still isn't a knife that I would purchase, it's still a really, really good knife. And it's probably the closest to what's in my wheelhouse coming from Medford. So let's get some specs out of the way. So this is about a what have I got here? It's a 7.9 inch blade, or knife overall, with a 3.6 inch blade, just a little over 3.5 inches. The cutting edge is coming in at 3.25 inches. The blade thickness is only, compared to his other knives, it's really thin, is 0.13. But the cool thing is the handle thickness is only 0.4 inches. So you're looking at a relatively thin knife. It's done with a hollow grind that comes down to a really nice edge. Now, I don't know what the steel is on this because Greg's got a weird way that he determines the steel, and I haven't looked it up yet. So I'm just not even going to bother looking up and trying to get it. But out of character for the knives that I see from Greg, this is only 4.1 ounces, which means that it is not a difficult knife to carry and put in pocket. The blade shape is beautiful. It's pretty comfortable in hand. There's no real hot spots to speak of. There's nothing impeding you from carrying this or using it. Some of the Praetorians, the bigger knives that he put out, were not your everyday user kind of knife. They were too thick. They were big and bulky. They were just the over-the-top, overbuilt that has kind of fell out of fashion. Great thing about this knife, the pocket clip on it, great. In and out of pocket, I tried it a few times, just the perfect tension. Like I said, this is not my knife. This is not here for review. It's just getting a quick video because it was in for sharpening. In and out of pocket, the pocket clip is great. The pocket clip is not a hot spot. It just disappears in your hand. It's a really well done, well thought out design on this. It's got a nice radius to it that follows the lines of the handle. And your cutout for your lock bar tension is on the inside, which means this just slides and glides in and out of pocket beautifully. Your over travel stop is done really well, and it adds to the attractiveness of the knife. The hardware on this is actually really well done and attractive. So this over travel stop just looks good on it. There's some milling and cutouts on the face of it that are really attractive and kind of give it a unique look. Then you get to the showpiece, which is the blade, and it's a very well done blade. This is one of the best looking blades I've seen on a knife in a while. It is a good looking blade. I love the way the grind lines on this kind of are a starburst pattern. That, I think, is what gives it a really good look. It's almost like Star Trek hyperspace lines on it, like that. And then this big fuller, which is your actual deployment, is not over the top. It's not cut all the way through. It's not ugly. It's attractive. It's radiused along the lines of the scale. And the action on this is smooth enough that you can reverse flick off of it. It's just all around a really good knife. Then you look at how the scales are done. Now, I do know that Medford has been using a laser to do some of this coloring and anodizing so they can get this really cool pattern effect on this. And it allows them to set a temperature for the laser to just basically heat anodize that at a specific temperature and get what they want. And you can get some really striking things going on that. And then, like I said, as far as cutting, the little bit of cutting I've done with this, it's been stellar. It has been an amazing cutter. And like I said, relatively comfortable in hand and not over the top. Now, there are a couple things about this knife, just having it here for a little bit, that I'd like to point out that are some negatives. And overall, this knife is kind of I'm on the fence about it. So let's go ahead and after you guys hear from this video sponsor, look at some of the things that I'm not over the top a fan of.
Guys, with Halloween officially being in the books, you know what that means. It's the start of the holiday season, which means Coffee Brand Coffee is starting to release some of their new flavors. You can see me opening up the one that they sent me right there. This is the butterscotch toffee. It is amazing. I'm having a cup of it right now. They have got some of the best flavored coffees you're going to find. All of their coffee is roasted on demand when you order it, ground or bean sent to your door. They also have cocoa. They have tea. They have got cold brew bags. And the thing is, now that it's the holiday season, they are starting to do their gift boxes. So if you want to get a gift for someone for Christmas, I absolutely recommend it. There is no risk because it's a money back guarantee if you try their coffee. And you can save 10% with my link. So check them out. Give them a shot. I absolutely love what they're doing over there. Guys, I got to get out of here and get back to filming.
So the things that I've got to say about this are absolutely not 100% negatives. There's only one thing that I really find problematic about this knife. These are all personal grapes. The first thing, I couldn't use this knife. This is another one of those knives that is just too thin. See, when I get it in a grip, I can't really get it in a grip where it doesn't want to roll out of the alignment with the cut. And if you're doing a lot of cutting, you see how I've got that? If you're doing a lot of cutting, then you have to reposition your hand and you're causing additional fatigue. There's a tiny little hot spot right here on the point. That's the next thing. Right here on the point, there's a tiny little hot spot right there. It's not such a big deal, but I can definitely feel it when I'm up on it if I'm holding this knife. The beauty of this fuller and the fact it does work as a flipper is kind of removed by the fact that if you're going to have this as your deployment method and not just like a feature, an aesthetic feature, I would have wanted this to be a little bit harder edge. Not like a full 90, but a little bit harder because it is soft. And if your hands are slippery and wet, you can slide off of that. Like I said, action on it's beautiful, but if your hands are sweaty, it just kind of feels like you're going to miss and slide out of that fuller, or maybe make it a little deeper. And then just the final thing, there's no real other thing about this. This would be the only one that I think is a bad point. Even though that this material has been removed, it is flush here. I would like to have seen a little bit of material, and I did this once for a customer. I removed a good bit of material from inside this area here and gave a little bit better access to the lock bar. Even though that's had material removed on a really thin knife like this with big hands, I find it kind of problematic. And there's times that I've got to kind of do it two-handed, or get my finger in here and do it this way and pull out. So overall, this is a very good knife. I've had them come in for sharpening. I've never really gotten to handle one long enough to make an opinion. And I think that the opinion I've got on this is probably the best knife that Medford makes, in my opinion. The blade is beautiful. The handles are great. It's a comfortable knife in hand, out of pocket. If you're just using it for some like minor cutting, if you've got smaller hands, it might not roll. So with all that being said, great knife. I didn't think I would ever like one of the Medfords as much as I'd like this one. So with that being said, let's turn this around, do some final thoughts, and send you out about your day.
Yeah, froze up. Doll Strong knives, Tempered Trail, Coffee Brand Coffee. There's a bunch of other stuff down there, like affiliate links and things like that. Coffee Brand Coffee and Tempered Trail have a coupon code, but there's a discount built into their links. But the coupon code Crazy Sharp that works there also works over at Rosecraft and FerrumForgeKnifeWorks.com. Like I said, the affiliate links down below. Most of your major knife vendors, like Blade HQ, if you're looking for one of these knives, that would be where I would look. I also have got an Amazon store. You can take that link, pin it to your browser, use it for any Amazon shopping you're going to do. And you can join my membership where you can get into free giveaways, the sharpening tutorial series. I have a private Discord server, but look at the levels because not each Each tier gets you more benefits as you go up in price. And I've also built a public Discord where everyone can hang out. I really would love to see you guys join that. It'd be amazing. We have a lot of fun in the private Discord, so I built one that's open for everyone. So guys, that's it on this one. I love you all. Keep it clean in the comments section. If it's your birthday, happy birthday. And I'll see you in the next video.